All right, so let me find it. Working on the bonus twin, I'm on 14. I think I got two more after this. So below is the graph of f of x. Write the equation of this thing in factored form, and it's a multi-part question. There's a lot to get to it. And obviously there's going to need to be some work here. But anyway, state the zeros and how many times they happen. So here's a 0, and we're crossing the x-axis. So it's x equals -1. And the multiplicity here is 1, because it's a cross. I think on your test, I actually have the factors. The factor is x plus 1. All right. Here's another 0. It's x equals +1. And it is touching the x-axis, so the multiplicity is 2. Now, its factor would be x minus 1. Okay. Of course, there'd be a 2 for the exponent. We'll talk about that later. And here's another 0. It's at x equals 2. Its multiplicity is 1 because it's passing through or crossing the x-axis. And its factor would be x minus 2. Now, by the way, speaking of these factors here, I'm looking for an x plus 1, and an x minus 1, and an x minus 2. Which doesn't do me a lick of good down there at all now, does it? Let's see, the x plus 1 has a multiplicity of 1. That doesn't do me much good. The x minus 1 has a multiplicity of 2. See how I have a multiplicity of 2? And that's x minus 1, so this guy is gone. X minus 1 should happen twice, so this guy's gone. X minus 1 should happen twice, that guy's gone. All right, then I have x minus 2. So what I've done by looking at exponents and factors is I've made this question that had 5 valid things down to 2. All right, so there you go. Based on your zeros and multiplicity, the polynomial is at least what degree? So we had a 1, a 2, and a 1. Looking at that multiplicity, a 1, a 2, and a 1. 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4. Fourth degree. State the least degree of the polynomial based on turning point theorem. 1, 2, 3. There's a hidden one there because it's going up and then it comes down. It's 3 turning points. So 3 TPs plus 1 is 4. It's at least x to the 4th. These two, generally speaking, wouldn't line up with each other. And behavior. If I don't know what things look like, I can make something up. Like x to the odd is x cubed, negative x cubed, x to the 4th, negative x to the 4th, or squared, or whatever. And I can kind of look at a calculator. Now, I'm just going to go straight to the answer because I don't want to burn all my free time on this. But a negative x to an even number like 4 will start low and it will end low. So this is a negative x to the even. All right, now, the actual finding of a. By the way, I do know that a is negative, so it's going to be e. But let's do some math, okay? I want to see some work here. You need to learn to work. We're going to take our factors. Look at the exponents, too. That's a 2. It's squared. And then x minus 2. We're going to throw in letter a. We're going to set it equal to y. Now, there is another point that was never messed with right there. That is going to give me an x and a y. And we're going to plug that point in. 4 would be equal to a times 0 plus 1 times 0 minus 1 squared times 0 minus 2. Now let's do some math here. 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. And a negative 1 squared is 1. And 0 minus 2 is negative 2. So I have 1 times 1 times negative 2. So 4 is negative 2a, which means a is negative 2, which is exactly what I'd already picked. So it's not too bad of a problem. That little section is worth 10 points on your test. This is 10 points out of 101. Suggest you master that particular section. Solve the inequality. I'm going to do this by graphing the way I taught you, because I think it graphs pretty easy. I can pull an x squared from both pieces. That'll leave me with x times x plus 3. I can pull a negative 16 from both pieces. That'll leave me with x plus 3. Common factor is x plus 3. The stuff left over is x squared minus 16, which factors as x plus 4 and x minus 4 all day long. Power function is x cubed which starts her day low and ends her day high. Let's see, my zeros are -4. That should be, I don't know why I wrote that. My zeros are -4 and +4, and then -3. I don't know why I changed that to a 4, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then -3 would be about right there. And I have to start low and end high. All right, less than or equal to 0 means touching or below the x-axis. So that's going to be this region of space and that region of space. Now this region of space runs from -infinity all the way to -4. So C is gone. This region of space runs from -3 to 4. Choice A. There's no gaps in it, so it's choice A. All right, moving forward. Polynomial has roots at x equals 0, x equals -2 plus root 3. Oh, and by the way, x equals 0 has a multiplicity of 2. And x equals -2 plus root 3, which is an ugly 0. So I also have x equals -2 minus root 3, which also has a multiplicity of 1 because of conjugate pairs ideas. Now, think about your factors. If x equals 0, if x is 0, is a 0, the factor is x minus 0, which is just x. Okay? Comes x. The factor here is x plus 2 minus root 3 because we change signs and we become factors. The other guy is x plus 2 plus root 3. And that is the factored form. Now you're going to have to do some work here. And there's nothing I can do to save you from that work. It's part of it, kids. So let's figure out what this ugly mess is when you put it together. And it's a lot simpler when it gets put together. We got x plus 2 minus a root of 3 and x minus 2 plus root, plus 2 plus root 3. Almost made a mistake. My little square is going to have 9 more squares in it. X times x is x to the second. X times 2 is 2x minus x root 3 plus 2x plus 4 minus 2 roots 3 plus x roots 3 plus 2 root 3 minus 3, because a radical times itself is the number inside. All right, cool. I've got my leading x, and I'm going to put this stuff together. I have an x squared. Looks like there's 4x right there. Let's see here. Those two cancel. Those two cancel. 4 minus 3 is 1. So plus 1. And then it's just, that distributive property. And I get x cubed plus 4x squared plus x. Choice B. Yeah, and by the way, kids, this thing had, let's talk about this. We had 2 zeros and 2 more zeros. No, sorry, we had 2 zeros. Oh, this is an x squared. It happened twice. Oh, about screwed that one up. Oops. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. I am glad I went back and looked at that. I was about to show you something about answer choices. That's x to the 4th plus 4x cubed plus x squared. Again, I messed that up. This thing happened twice. So I'm sorry about that, but it was an easy fix. But if I have 2 zeros here and I have 2 zeros here, I had to be x to the 4th. And that was the only one that had x to the 4th, now wasn't it? So choice C. Little skills like that can make or break your day. And hey, that's it. That's it for the bonus twin. Good luck on your little testy test Friday. And again, do well on that test. Those bad quiz grades get replaced.